So as I said before, you don't need weights to do this. You can do it just as easily without, but they just add a little bit more challenge, a bit more resistance. So you can kind of pick them up and put them down as you need to. So let's come and stand with our feet hip distance apart. We want to find those 3 points of contact with the mat, so big toe, little toe and heel. Soft bend through the knee, lifting up tall through the spine, so imagining that helium balloon, pulling your head towards the ceiling. Shoulders are back and down, a bit easier today with the weight, pulling them down your back. So we're just going to find our pelvic position. So if I just move my weights out the way. We're going to turn the tailbone under to start with, so flattening through the lower back. And then we're going to come back to center and turn the tailbone up, so you've got that arch through the lower back. So let's just take the pelvis backwards and forwards, just limbering up through that lumbar spine. So coming to rest in that midway point of neutral. So that's what we want to try to maintain throughout the session today. So let's start connecting with our breath, firing up our core chamber. So inhaling through the nose, pulling the air laterally into the side of the lungs. Feel the rib cage expand, and as we exhale, we want to exhale through the mouth, imagining that you're blowing onto a feather or through a straw, feeling the rib cage compress back down. Just taking a couple of breaths here. So keeping that length through the spine, holding on to that posture, just allowing the rib cage to rise and fall. So feeling the abdominals begin to activate now as we exhale. We're going to pull the tummy button in towards the spine. So starting with that core connection. Exhale, the rib cage compresses, the tummy button comes in towards the spine, providing that support for the back. Exhale. So on the next in-breath, feeling the lungs, and as we exhale, we're going to pull the tummy button in towards the spine and at the same time fire up those pelvic floor muscles. So imagining that you're stepping into cold water, we want that bracing sensation through the pelvic floor. Last couple of breaths, exhale, feel everything working together now. So we've got our diaphragm working, we've got our abdominals and our pelvic floor. Exhale. So we're just going to begin with some shoulder shrugs, so just to get the shoulders active. So keeping with our breath, we'll inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to raise the shoulders up towards the ears. So feel the shoulder blades sliding. Inhale, let's bring it back down. Feel the shoulders fall, feel those weights coming towards the floor. Exhale, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale, bringing it back down. So just going here at your own pace, keeping that connection through the core. So we want to keep the abdominals at about a third of their full contraction. So just keeping that activation throughout, still long through the spine. Inhale those arms down, last one. Exhale up, inhale, bring it back down. So now I want you to imagine you're wearing a pair of concrete trousers, so everything from the hips downwards stays nice and stable. Inhaling here as we exhale, we're going to drop one weight down towards the knee, so going into our lateral flexion. So trying to imagine again as well that you're between two panes of glass, so we're just moving from side to side. We don't want any rotation here within the spine. So keeping the hips nice and level. So maybe as you get into this movement, you can get a little bit further down. Just working here through that thoracic spine in the middle of the back. Inhale it back, exhale, taking it down. Coming back up tall, remembering that helium balloon. Last one each side. Exhale, let's take it down the other way, bringing it back to center. So we're staying with lateral flexion, but this time we're going to take the weight overhead. So starting to bring in some challenge here for the arms. So let's inhale here. Finding that length through the spine. As we exhale, we're going to lift one hand up towards the ceiling. Hopefully you can see me. Inhale back to center, exhale. So just flexing here through the upper back, keeping those concrete trousers on as before. Just working here through the shoulders. So pushing up towards the ceiling, exhale. Inhale back to center, exhaling here on the effort. So just flowing here from side to side, keeping that length through the spine. Feel the separation between the vertebrae. One more each side. Last one, exhale. We're going to bring the weights down now to our shoulders. So just resting there on the shoulders, keeping that stability again through the hips. Let's inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to rotate round through the upper spine. So we want to keep the hip bones facing forwards. Inhale it back. So just isolating through the upper back, the middle back, back to center. Exhale, really squeezing the air out of the lungs as you come round. Inhale, exhale, keeping that core engagement through the tummy. Pelvic floor working here too. So as we exhale, we rotate, pulling in that pelvic floor, back to center. Exhale. Let's do one more each side, and then we're going to add a little bit of a pulse. So back to center. As we exhale around, we're now going to pulse for 1, 2, 3. Inhale it back. Let's take it around again for another 3. One more each side. Keeping those hips facing forward. So we want control here within the pelvis. Inhale, let's lower the arms down. Just give your shoulders a little bit of a roll if you need to. Okay. So working a little bit here on our coordination and our balance. So we're going to be shifting our weight from side to side, so keep it nice and slow. So inhaling here as we exhale, we're going to just lift one heel off the floor, so I'll show you from the side. So we're just coming up onto the ball of the foot. And as we do that, we're just going to tap the weight over to the opposite leg. Back to center, exhale. So just starting to mobilize through the hip and through the ankle and the knee. Exhale. See if you can do it without sort of looking down at your knees. So keep that length through the spine, keep the head pulled up towards the ceiling. Exhale. So you're just tapping gently from side to side. Just allowing the arms to swing, keeping the tummy button pulled in. We'll do one more of these each side. Exhale, so bring it all back to center. So we're going to up the ante a little bit with the balance. So we're going to be lifting the knee up to the hip if you're able, otherwise just keep with that flexion within the ankle coming up onto the toes. So inhaling here, so shifting the weight onto one foot, onto those 3 points. As we exhale, we're going to lift the arms up to shoulder height, bring the knee up to the hip, back to center. Take it the other way, otherwise you're just coming to here, you're just lifting up onto the toes. Keeping long through the spine, exhale, let's lift that knee, find your point of focus, so just bringing the knee up to hip height, coming back to center, find neutral, exhale, let's take it the other way. Back to center. Exhaling here to lift. Inhale, bring it down. So we'll do one more from on each side. Exhale. Last one now, bring that knee up towards the hip. Gently lowering it down, just give the arms a little bit of a shake. Oh, we're not done yet. We've still got a few more standing positions to do. Okay, so we're now going to go into a bit more of a deeper hip flexion. So I'll show you from the side. So I just lose my weight for a minute just to show you the position of the legs. So starting in neutral. As we exhale, we're just going to bend through the knee. So imagine that you're perching on the edge of a chair, tailbone is tucked under, so we want to keep the neutral position of the spine. Inhale, bring it up. So that's what we're doing with the legs. So we don't want to be folding forward too much, we want to keep the spine extensors active. So in terms of the arms, we're going almost into sort of a Superman movement. So inhaling here as we exhale, we're going to squat down onto the edge of our chair. The arms go forwards and backwards in opposite directions. Back to center. Exhale, let's take it the other way. So just flowing from side to side. The key here is to keep the upper body upright. So engaging those abdominals. Exhale. So just flowing here from side to side, just allowing the arm to move in that single plane of motion. So just lifting it up towards the shoulder. Exhale, dipping a little deeper through the knees now if you're able to. So shifting our center of gravity here, so working more into our core. Exhale. Last couple on each side. Last one now. Dipping deep into those knees. Bringing it back, shaking the arms out again. Well done. Okay, I'm just going to have a little sip of water. And take the moment just to give your arms a rest if you want to. Okay. So we're going to come into some deeper lunges now. We're going to take the feet into our split stance. So the legs are still at hip distance. The feet are facing towards the end of the mat, coming to rest in neutral again. So just finding that midway point with the pelvis. We're just going to hold the weights down by the side because we're going down. They're just going to pull us a little bit further down with gravity. So just adding a bit more challenge here to the core. So as we inhale here, exhale, we're going to bend both knees. So coming down into a double lunge. Inhale back to center, push that back heel down towards the floor to lengthen. Exhale, let's come down towards the floor. Bringing it back up, keeping that core engagement to stop us from folding forward. So we want to keep that healing balloon, pulling the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale it up. We'll do 4 more on this side and then we'll swap over. See if you can get a little bit deeper now with each one. Exhale it down. Ooh, brace the shakes through the legs. It means all those little muscles are working. Bring it back up. The last one on this side. Exhale. Great stuff. Let's bring the feet together. We're now going to swap them over. So taking your opposite leg forward. Coming again to rest in neutral. So the hip bones are both facing forward. Legs are long, tall through the spine. Inhale here as we exhale. Let's go into our double lunge. Inhale it up, pushing that back heel down. Exhale. So feel that length through the legs as you come up to standing. Pushing that heel down, squeezing the bum behind you. We're halfway, that's 4, I think. Last 4. So again, see if you can get a little bit lower down with each one. As your knees begin to adapt to the movement. Last couple. Bringing it up. Last one. Great stuff. Let's bring the legs back together. Give them a little bit of a shake. So staying with our weights down the side to start with. Coming to rest in neutral. So we're just going to move one leg at a time now. So your standing leg will be working quite hard to keep you stable. So just shifting the weight onto one foot. Inhaling here as we exhale. We're going to lift one knee up to hip height. Take the weight overhead. And as we bring the leg down, it's going to go behind us and the other arm comes out in front. Exhale, let's lift it up. Pull in those core muscles. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale to lift. So working with a scissor motion with the arms. Keeping the length through the spine. Abdominals are working hard here. So working on your balance and coordination at the same time. Exhale. So we'll just do 6 of these. So we've got 2 more to go. Exhale. Lifting that weight high. Last one. Bring it down. Great stuff. Back to center. So we're going to flip it over the other way. So changing the position of the legs again. No, I lied. We're going to shift the weight onto the opposite foot. So your standing leg is now on the opposite side. Yep, so inhaling here. As we exhale, let's lift the opposite knee up towards the hip. Bringing the arm overhead. Taking the leg behind, taking the opposite arm out in front. Exhale. Strong through the core here. Find that point of focus to help you balance. So we're halfway. You want a couple more to do. Exhale. Tall through the spine. Keep everything nice and active. Gently lowering it down, just bouncing through the knees again. Just take some pressure off that standing leg. Okay, so now we're going to be shifting our center of gravity forward, so working more into the spine extensors. So we're going to go again into our little chair sit. So just finding that bend through the knee, keeping the pelvis neutral. But as we come down, we're going to hinge forward and the arms are going to come backwards. So working here into our triceps. Inhale, bring it back. Arms come down by the side. Exhale. Bend through the knee. Take those arms behind you as a counterbalance. Help stop you falling forward. Exhale. So getting a little bit deeper in the knees if you can. Always coming back up to that neutral position. Exhale. We'll do 2 more. Let's make it 6. Exhale it down, really lifting those arms behind you. Last one now. Exhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring it back to center. Your standing section is done, so well done. We're going to make our way down onto the floor now. So just place your weights down in front of you, then make your way down to the floor. Nice and slow and safe. So I'm going to give you 2 options for the legs. Your legs can either be bent in a crook position or they're coming long. Long is a little bit more challenging, so just choose which leg you want to work with. We want to find those 2 little bony parts at the bottom of the pelvis. So they're going to be our base of support. Coming to find neutral pelvis again, so just rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. Just coming to rest in neutral just to reduce any strain on the lower back. If you are seated with your legs long, just add a little bit more activation through the legs by bringing the toes up towards the shins. We're just going to start by placing our weight on our head. Very odd, I know, but it'll just bring a little bit of length through the spine. So inhaling here as we exhale, we're going to push our head into the weight, so feel the spine lengthening up. Inhale, release. Exhale, pushing your head up towards that weight. Feel the vertebra separate. Inhale. Last time, let's push the head up towards that weight. We're going to try to hold this now, so holding this length through the spine by firing up those abdominals. Keeping hold of your weight, we're going to lift it overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to drop the weight behind us, so keeping the elbows tucked in towards the ears. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale. So just working through that hinging movement within the elbows, the shoulders are staying stable. So we want the upper arms to stay as stable as they can. So just moving the upper arms. So bring the weight down in front of you. We're going to swap the position of the hands. So now your other hand is at the top. We're going to do the same again. So bring it back up to center. Exhale, let's lift, lower it down towards your shoulders. Inhale, bring it up. So we still got that length through the spine. Pull that tummy button in, pelvic floor. We don't want to be sagging here through the spine. We want to keep everything active, everything strong. Last couple. Exhale. Lower it down, keep those elbows nice and strong. Inhale it down, well done. Just put your weight down, just give your arms a bit of a shake if you need to. Okay, just repositioning your back. So we're now going to take both of our weights. Let's see if I've got enough space to do this. Okay, so again, your legs can be in either position. We're just going to start by lifting the weights up to the chest. We're going to go into a rowing movement. So working here through the spine. So we want the spine to sort of curve. So collapsing the tummy button in towards the spine. So finding that natural C curve through the middle back. So nice and mobile through the spine, through flexion. Okay. So inhale, let's take the arms in front of us. Exhale, I'm going to bring them in, take them around as we lean back, bring it back to center. So going into a rowing motion, keeping the hips as stable as possible. So finding that contact with those sit bones on the floor, back to center. Exhale, so working here into the abdominals, thighs are active to keep the legs stable. Exhale, take the arms wide, bring it back. We'll do 4 more of these. So just finding that boundary with the abdominals where you can keep that control and bring it back. Last couple, exhale. Bring it round, last one now. Feel it in those arms, bring the arms long in front of you. Gently lower those weights down by its sides. Okay. So give your arms a little bit of a shake if you need to. So just keeping with one weight this time. Again, your legs can be wherever you want them to be, to just, once you've got that comfort through the lower back. So we're going to start with the arms wide. So you've got the weight on one side. So working here to keep everything stable, working with the abdominals and the hips. Inhaling here, as we exhale, we're going to pass the weight from side to side. Inhale, take it wide. Squeeze those shoulder blades as you come behind you. Exhale, take it wide. Inhale, bring the hands together. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together, keeping the tummy button in, so we don't want to be flaring through the ribs. Exhale. Bring it together, whose arms are aching. Bring it back. Exhale, we'll do 1 more on each side. Taking it wide, gently lower that weight down, just give your arms a little bit of a roll. We'll do a big arm stretch session in a moment. I've just got a couple more movements to do. So now working into our pelvic control, stretching out through the hamstrings. So I just want you to place your weights sort of down by your shins or your knees, wherever you can grab hold of them. Just feeling a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Again, the legs can be bent or they can be straight. Okay. So excuse me, we're inhaling here. As we exhale to reach forward and grab our weights. Inhale, as we exhale, we're going to swing them back towards our hips. Take the arms overhead, bring them back down. Inhaling here, as we exhale, we're going to push the weights away from us again, so feel that stretch through the hamstrings. Inhale, bring the arms back by the sides, let's circle them overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, let's take it forward, grab those weights. Inhale. Exhale, slide those weights towards you. Circling those arms overhead. So just working here at your own pace. Exhale, push the weights away from you so you can get a little bit further this time. Feel that stretch through the hamstrings. Inhale here. Exhale, let's slide and take those arms forward overhead. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to go back for our weights. Feel that nice stretch. Inhale, exhale, let's slide them back towards us. Circling those arms. We'll do 1 more each way. Inhale here, exhale, let's slide them away from us, really reaching the arms long. Feel that length through the spine. Inhale here, exhale, bring it back. Let's take the arms overhead. Last one now, inhaling. Exhale, reaching forward. Let's grab your weights. They're now your best friends. Inhale, exhale, bring them back. Oh, let's circle those arms overhead. Well done. Okay, so we're going to do a few little arm stretches. And then we're going to work a bit into our glutes and our abdominals. So let's just put the legs in a comfortable position. So you can change position of your legs into crossed or wherever you want to be. We're just going to take one arm overhead, just pressing the palm onto the shoulder blade and just pushing back onto the tricep here at the back of the arm. So we're not holding onto the joint, just holding onto the muscle there. Just pushing that away from you. Feel the stretch through the shoulder and through the upper arm. Gently lowering it back down. Let's take the other arm overhead. Exhale as you push it away from you. Feel that nice stretch here down the side. Just enjoying holding your weights for a few moments. Okay, so we're going to clasp the hands in front of us. Turn the palms towards me, just pushing forward, so rounding here through the upper back. Just breathing naturally, just enjoying the stretch. We'll come back to our breath in a moment. Inhaling here as we exhale, we're going to push the arms overhead, so pushing up towards the ceiling, palms are up towards the ceiling. Feel that nice stretch through the shoulder blades. Gently lowering the arms down. We're now going to clasp the hands behind us, so just clasping them together at the small of your back and just push them away. So push them towards the wall, push your chest forward. Just opening out through the chest, feel the shoulder blades coming together. Oh, let's gently release. Let's see how we are full time. Plenty of time. Okay. So we're now going to come and back into our sitting position. Our legs are bent this time. So we want the feet to be fairly close to the hips. So just finding that foundation within the feet. We're going to place our weight, our cam, whatever we've got, just into the crease here between the hip and the thigh. It's coming to rest on our arms. So we want the palms on the floor. We want the fingers pointed towards the bum. Legs are hip distance apart. It's coming long here through the spine. So we're going to be lifting up the hips, squeezing the bum, and working through the thighs as well. So let's inhale here. As we exhale, let's just lift the hips from the floor. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, so working here against gravity with the extra challenge of the weight, so strong through the shoulders. If it's too much on the shoulders, do it without the weight. Exhale, let's lift those hips. Squeeze the bum, help you lift a little more. Pelvic floor working here as well. Exhale, pulling in those abdominals, reaching up with the hips. Let's lower it down. If you're happy there, you can stay with that level. Otherwise, we're going to come into a reverse tabletop. So inhale here as we exhale, we're going to push it all the way. So pushing the hips up in line with the knees, strong through the shoulders. Inhale, let's lower it down. Slow and with control, just unraveling the spine as you come down. Inhale here. Let's go up again. Exhale, push those hips towards the ceiling. Squeeze that bum. Keep that balance with your weight on your hips. Bringing it back. Oop, mine's gone for a walk. I'm going to put it back. Exhale, let's push those hips up towards the ceiling. Feel that squeeze through the glutes. Inhale here. Exhale, let's gently lower. We've got one more to go. Inhale, exhale, let's go up again. Really pushing those hips towards the ceiling. Feel those bums squeezing hard. Inhale, let's lower it down. Slow with control, allow the bum to just gently rest on the floor. Take that weight away. We're just going to hook the hands under the armpits, so a little chicken here, and just press down, just a little stretch here for the wrists. Just enjoy this nice stretch, release through the wrists, and then just give the wrist a little bit of a circle as well. It's quite taxing on the wrists, that one. So we're now going to come onto all fours. If you struggle with your knees, you can come and stay seated. You can do the same movement, it's just less sort of challenging on the shoulders. So coming on to all fours. So just putting your weights just in front of you for now where you can reach them. We're just going to come and find our posture. So we want our legs to be hip distance apart. Straight line from the shoulder down to the wrist. Inhale here as we exhale, something to push away from the floor. So feel that engagement, that activation through the shoulders. Inhale as we exhale, let's push the tummy down towards the floor. So arching through the back. Feel that nice release for the lower back. Inhale here as we exhale, let's push it up towards the ceiling. So reversing that movement, taking the spine into flexion. One more each way. So enjoying that nice movement through the whole length of the spine. Coming to rest again in that midway point of neutral. Keeping that engagement with the tummy button and the spine. So just grabbing one of your weights now. So we're shifting weight onto one of our hands. So we want to keep nice and lifted through the shoulder. Inhaling here as we exhale, just going to take the weight forward. So keeping the arm in line with the shoulder, no higher. Exhale. If you're seated, we're just going to do that same movement. So just taking the weight forwards and backwards. So just lifting it up to shoulder height, bringing it down. Otherwise, we're on all fours. So just moving here at your own pace. I want you to imagine that you've got a glass of water on your low back. So everything around your pelvis, your lower back stays nice and stable. So we're just moving through this shoulder. Let's do 3 more. That's 2. Last one. Gently lower it down. So we're going to take our weight onto our other wrist. Take your hand weight, your beans or whatever you have onto your other side. Inhaling here. Find that strength of the supporting arm and let's lift up as we exhale. Exhale. Again, it's too much. You can do it without the weight. Just take the arm up and down. Feel that squeeze through the shoulders. Last 3 now. That's 3. 2. The last one. Keep the chin tucked in towards the chest. So keeping the spine as neutral as you can. So lowering it down, let's just sit back onto the heels. Just stretching out through the arms, give the wrists a roll around if you need to. Just releasing through the lower back. I'm going to come back up to our start position. So again, same movement if you're seated. So just follow the movement of the arm. So taking our weight again. Finding your neutral position, strong through that supporting arm, inhaling here. So exhale, the arms now going to come out to the side. So taking our arm into abduction. Exhale. Feel that squeeze through the shoulders, working into those muscles sort of under the armpits, around the ribs. Squeezing it down. So try and just take the arm up to shoulder height. So we don't want to bring too much rotation into the upper back. Last couple now. Oh, I wish I had my £2 instead of my £5. Okay, let's lower it down. Taking it the other way. I'm not sure I've got space. I'm going to shove it over. Okay, so starting again in that same position. We're going to take it out for 8. So exhale, let's lift. Inhale down. So just keeping that core connection through the spine. We want to stay lifted through the shoulders. Pelvic floor should be fired up too, just providing that support around the hip region. Last couple, exhale. Whoa, last one. Bring it gently back down. Again, let's sit back onto the heels. Just stretching out through the arms. Give the wrists a roll around if you need to. Okay, I'm sure you're relieved to hear we've got just one more set in this position. So I'm sure you've guessed the arm is now going to come backwards. So working more into our triceps, same movement if you're seated. Just squeezing the shoulder blade, taking the arm behind you. So let's find our start position, find that strength through your supporting arm. Inhaling here as we exhale, let's lift that arm behind us. Just swinging it back down to starting. And just finding your flow, just taking it forwards and backwards, squeezing the shoulder as it comes up. Exhale. Ooh. Take it up. Last few. That's 3, 2. Last one. Gently lower it down. Okay, last 8 now, I promise, in this position. So swapping your weight now into your opposite hand. Finding neutral, strong through that supporting arm. Let's exhale to lift. Inhale it down. So find that flow through that shoulder joint. Keeping the shoulders nice and supple, nice and healthy. That's 4, we're halfway through. Last 3 now. Keep that tummy button pulled in toward your spine. Hips stay nice and level. Last 2. Squeeze that shoulder. Last 1. Bring it down. Gently lower your weight. Again, just sitting back, just relieving the arms or wrists, whatever you need to do. We'll have jelly arms for the rest of the day, I think. I hope nobody's got any heavy lifting and things planned. Done my housework, so I'm sorted. Okay. Where are we for time? Okey-doke. So now you can either do this on all fours or you can do it on your tummy, whichever is most comfortable. So we're going to take our weight and just put it into the fold of our knee. So if you're on your tummy, your knee is going to be sort of bent upwards. So your foot's towards the ceiling and your weight's going to just rest in that fold within the knee. Otherwise, we're on all fours. So just bending the knee slightly just to find that support around the weight. So keeping it as stable as you can, working into those muscles in the thigh. So just shifting your weight onto your opposite knee now. Exhale, we're just going to lift that knee away from the floor. So don't take it any higher than hip height. We want to keep that glass of water level on our lower back. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, take it up. Squeeze the bum. If it's too tricky to keep the weight there, you can do it without. So just swinging that leg up and down. Keeping it at hip distance and not allowing it to gravitate inwards and outwards. Exhale, lift. Okay, we've got 3 more on this side. Squeeze and lift. Oh, see how much more challenging it is when you've got a weight to work with. Last one now. Exhale. Bringing it down. So we're going to swap that weight now to the opposite leg. Coming to rest again in our 4-point kneeling position. So just clasping onto that weight with your knee. Let's inhale here. Exhale, lifting up through that knee now. Ooh, strong through the shoulders, really squeezing that bum as the weight comes up. Probably feel your abdominals working a little bit more here as well. Keeping you lifted from the floor. Exhale. Ooh, last 3, come on, nearly there. That's 2. Ooh, and last one now, lift it up, squeeze, gently lower it down, grab your weight. Just sitting back now onto your heels or doing what you need to do, just release through the wrists and the lower back. Just take a couple of breaths. It was a challenging section. But you're all still with me as far as I can see, so that's a good sign. Okay. So you just need one of your weights for this section. We're going to come and lie down on our sides. Okay. So you can just rest your head on your hand, or if you've got a little cushion or something you want to lie on, you can do. Bringing the heels in line with the bum to start with. Yep, so we're going to take our weight. So we'll lift it up here through the waist, so we want the top hip to be pushed away from the rib cage. The abdominals are active to keep us from rocking forwards and backwards. Just allowing your knees to stack. So we're going to take our weight and just start with our elbow tucked in towards our hip, towards our ribs. Inhaling here, you're just going to hover the elbow off the body. If it's too much, you can keep that contact. Otherwise, we're hovering up. As we exhale, we're going to rotate the weight up towards the ceiling, trying to keep the position of the upper arm. Exhale. So going into our dumb waiter movement with the arm, squeeze behind you, so rotating externally through the shoulder. Exhale. Let's do another 4. Oh, that's 3. Keep that tummy lifted, abdominals are active. Last one now, exhale. Gently lower it down, just give your arm a bit of a shake, a roll around. Ooh. Okay, we're now going to take that top leg long away from us, turning the toes up towards the shin, so you're elongating through the back of the leg. Again, just pushing that top hip away from your ribs. We're just going to hover our weight onto the side of our thigh. So again, just working a bit more here against gravity. Tummy button is pulled in. Inhale here. Exhale, we're just going to lift that leg up towards the ceiling, leading with the heel. Inhale, bring it back down to hip height. We're just lifting and lowering through the leg. Just noticing how much more challenging it is, even with a little bit of weight there. Just makes those muscles work a little bit harder. Keeping that tummy button pulled in, so we want the upper body to stay as stable as we can. Last 3, squeeze it in. That's 2. And 1, just to lower that leg back down for a minute because it's going back. Okay, so taking that leg long again, this time we're going to point the toes. So we want to imagine we've got a pencil on the end of our big toe. Inhale just to abduct the leg, just raising the leg slightly. And as we exhale, we're just going to start drawing little circles here with the toe, keeping that contact with the weight. So exhale around, inhale back to center, keeping the tummy button pulled in, pelvic floor, so everything's stable to prevent us rocking forwards and backwards. We're just isolating through that hip joint. Last one. Inhale again here. We're going to take it the other way as we exhale. Inhale back. Just drawing those pretty circles with the toe. So we want the circles to be nice and precise. You want the hip to stay stable. If you feel you've got that control, you can go a little bit wider, you can go a little bit faster. But as soon as your hips start to deviate, then bring it back. Last one. Gently lower it down. I'm going to let you drop your weight in front of you. I'm just going to lower the head down now onto the upper arm. Just allowing the arm to rest on your hip. Both legs are bent, heels in towards the bum. Inhaling here, and as you exhale, we're just going to circle the arm backwards. So just taking the arm overhead. So imagining that you're in the center of a clock. Just allowing the arm to circle round, just releasing through that shoulder. Let's do one more, and we'll go the other direction. So let's inhale here, exhale, taking it round. Keeping the activation still through the core. So everything's still working, we're just giving this arm a nice little bit of rotation. Let's bring it round. Gently lower that arm back down. Give it a little bit of a shake. So both arms now are going to come out in front of us. So you want to sort of be looking towards your fingers. So inhaling here, and as we exhale, we're going to open that top arm overhead. So imagining that your spine is the spine of a book. We're just opening up that book, take the arm overhead, allow the head to follow it. So rotating through the full length of the spine here. Just hold this stretch. Just feel the air coming into that top. side of the rib cage. Inhale, let's bring it all back to center. So I just want you to gently lower yourself up because we're going to flip over to the other side now. So bring your weight back. Last little section with your weight. So coming to rest on your forearm, pulling those heels in towards your bum, pushing that top hip away from you. So lengthening here through the side of the body, abdominals are active. So we're going to take our weight. So we've got our elbow tucked in towards our rib cage, towards our hip. Just hovering that elbow if you want to on the inhale. As we exhale, let's rotate it up towards the ceiling. Inhale to hover it over the floor. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale it back. So just lifting and lowering. We're going to go for 8, so we're halfway there. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale down. So rotating here through the shoulder, keeping the upper arm in a fairly fixed position, just allowing the upper arm to move. Exhale. Oh, we've got one more to go. Let's lift it up. Gently lowering it down. Give your arm a little bit of a shake. Taking that top leg long now. So flexing the toes up towards the shin, pushing that top hip away from you. Let's rest our weight onto the thigh. So active still through the shoulders, through the core. Inhale here as we exhale. Let's lift that top leg. Inhale it back. So leading the movement here with the heel, allowing our glutes here to engage. Exhale. Oh, squeeze as you lift. Just allowing the foot to come back in line with the hip as we come down. Oh, we've got 2 more to go. Exhale. Last one now. Feel that squeeze through the glutes. Bring it back. Taking that leg long now. We're going to point the toe. So we've got our pencil on the end of our big toe. Inhale here as we exhale. Let's start to circle that leg forward. Keeping the tummy active, tummy button pulled in, lifted up through the waist. So still active through the upper body as we move the leg. Ooh, feel those bums burning. Last 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it back to center. Inhale here, we'll exhale it round the other way. Exhale on the effort, inhale to bring it round. Ooh, if you feel comfortable, you can take your circle a little bit wider. As soon as your hips start to wobble, then bring it back or tighten up through that core. Last couple. Gently lower it down, bring the knees together again now. Just give yourself a little bit of a rub and shake, whatever you need to do. Okay, you can lose your weight. I think we are now done with it. I'm sure you're all delighted. Okay, so coming now to rest on your lower arm, so lowering your head down, bringing your knees together, so bringing the heels up in line with your bum, just allowing that top arm to rest on your thigh. Let's inhale here. To exhale, we're going to circle the arm backwards. So just full circumduction here through the shoulder joint, imagining you're that center of the clock. So allowing your arm to go through that full circle, really reaching through the length of the fingers, feel the whole length of the arm. Ooh, last couple in this direction. Bring it back round to center. Inhale here, let's take it round the other way. Ooh, notice any clunks and clicks. Allowing them to just release, bringing some mobility back into that joint. Okay, ooh, last one now. Bring the arm back down to rest. So we're going to bring both arms in front of us. So imagining again that your spine is the middle of a book. Inhale here as we exhale. Let's open that arm overhead, following it with your gaze. Allow the head to come over so you've got that full rotation through the spine. Feel that nice stretch through the upper back. Just breathing here for a moment, just enjoying the stretch. Inhale, let's bring those arms back together. So we're going to move back up to seated now. So just pushing yourself back up into a seated position. Whew. It's always tricky when you've been lying on your side. So well done. We've all still got 2 arms, so it's a good sign. No one's had one fall off yet. Okay, so we're just going to place the hands onto the knees. You can have the arms, the legs long if you want to. So just coming to rest up again onto the sit bones. So just going into some gentle stretches. So inhale here, as you exhale, I want you just to collapse through the tummy. So going into the C curve, feel your shoulders fall forward. Feel that nice release through the spine. So just breathing naturally now. So just allowing the body to start winding down. Inhale here as we exhale, let's lift up through the shoulders, push the chest forward. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together, just opening out through the chest. Let's take it the other way as we exhale, so collapsing now through the spine. Just enjoying this nice release here through the shoulders, through the upper back. Let's take it the other way. Push that chest forward. So just coming back now to neutral. So I want you to imagine that you're combing your hair. That's the only analogy I can think of. So we're going to take one arm, we're going to sweep it overhead, take it out to the side, bring it down. Let's take the other one, overhead, brush your hair, take your arm out to the side, really reaching over to the side, lengthening through the arm. Just taking it now from side to side. Nice release here for the shoulder. Do one more of these each side. Really reaching over, bring the arms down. We're going to bring the arms now in front of us. We're raising them up to shoulder height. I just want you to stack one hand on top of the other, clasp the fingers together, and then just pull that bottom palm forward. So you're pulling the hand towards the wrist, so we're shortening here through the wrist muscles. So pushing the palm away from you, feel that length through the spine, through the arm even. Sitting nice and tall here, let's gently release. Let's swap the position of the arms. Pulling that bottom hand up now, feel that stretch through the wrist. So just breathing into it, feel the muscles begin to stretch. Gently lowering the arms. We're just going to place the hands down by the side. Just using your hands as a little bit of an anchor. Inhale here as we exhale. I'm going to take one arm overhead, just bending into that opposite arm. Feel that flexion through the side of the body. So the arm's coming overhead. We don't want it to come to the front and rotate. So we want this side of the rib cage to be nice and long. Let's bring it back. Let's take it the other way. Exhale it over. So really sinking into that arm, keeping the hips pushed down into the mat, just to add that little bit of extra length to the side of the body. Let's do one more each side, quite enjoying that one. Closing your eyes as well if you want to, just to get that feedback. Let's bring it back. Take it over the other side again, last one. Let's gently release. We're now going to take one hand, place it onto the opposite knee, and the other hand is going to sweep behind us. So we're rotating here through the spine. So just pushing against your thigh, just to assist with that rotation. Just looking over your back shoulder as well, just to bring some rotation into the cervical spine. Just feel that nice twist through the middle of the back. Inhale it back to center. Let's take it the other way. So your opposite hand comes onto your opposite thigh. Arm sweeps behind you. Let's push against that leg. Okay, and gently release. So now one leg is going to come along in front of us. So your other knee can be here or here, wherever you want it to be. Flexing the toes towards you now. We're going to go into a hamstring stretch. So as we exhale, let's just reach the hands towards that front leg. Feel that stretch through the back of the thigh and through the back of the calf. Just enjoying this nice little stretch before we go into our relaxation. As you exhale, maybe you can get the hands a little bit further forward. Just deepen into that stretch. Let's bring it back up. Let's change the position of the legs. So stretching out onto the other side. Exhale, let's reach it forward. Okay, next exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper. You feel that length through the whole of the back of your leg. Let's gently release as we inhale, bring the legs back together. So well done, you have survived my free weight session. We're now going to go into our relaxation. So come and find a position you're comfortable in for the next 5 minutes or so. How long do we have? Yeah, 5 minutes or so. Add any extra layers you may want. So jumpers, socks, blankets, etc. I'm sorry if you hear the noise outside or neighbours are still renovating, but hopefully you'll have a few minutes just to switch off. So just coming to rest in your place of comfort for 5 minutes or so. Just noticing how the body's feeling after your hour of Pilates this morning. Just beginning to gently close the eyes. Just feeling the weight of the body on the surface beneath you. Noticing any tension or discomfort throughout the body. Just allowing it to be, just noticing how it feels. Coming now to the breath. Just feeling that rise and fall of the chest or of the belly. Noticing how each breath is different. Is it long or short, deep or shallow? You're just feeling the body gently soften and relax with each exhale. So we're just going to pay a little bit of attention to each part of the body. Just starting now at the top of the head. Just gently scanning down. Noticing any tension or discomfort through the face, through the head. So allowing the brow to soften. The jaw to fall open as you exhale. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Just letting go of any tension or discomfort through the shoulders, through the upper back. feeling the weight of the arms. Think about how hard they've worked this morning. And as you exhale, just letting go of any tension, any discomfort. Feeling the whole length of the arms soften and relax. Softening now through the tummy, through the middle back. Just feeling that strength within your core. Thinking about how hard it's allowed you to work today. Just softening and releasing as you exhale. Feeling the weight now of the hips, of the thighs, the upper legs. Just feel them become heavier as you soften and relax. Just letting go of any remaining tension as you exhale. Feel the kneecaps drop. Softening now through the lower legs. Allowing the whole length of the leg to soften and release. Just feeling any remaining tension leaving the body through the feet. So letting go of any tension in all those little muscles within the feet. Just feeling the whole weight of the body now. Just feel it filled with space and softness. Just taking a few moments to appreciate this feeling. Coming back now to the breath. Just begin to breathe a little bit deeper now. Beginning to re-energize the body before you go on with your day. Starting to bring some movement back into the fingers and the toes. Just gently starting to move the head from side to side. Gently opening the eyes when you're ready is always the hardest bit. When you're ready, just coming back up to seated. Thank you all once again for joining me, for your ongoing donations. Very much appreciated. Gets me out of bed on a Sunday. Definitely kept me going. So hope you enjoyed it.